So Alyssa Thomas, in her post game after the win yesterday versus the Fever, she went ahead and said some things, stirring another narrative, saying that there's been racism and things like that towards her and other people she's associated with, probably Carrington for what she did, and saying that there's no place for this and we don't want the fans and leave the Indiana fans and they need to get out of our arena and all this stuff. So these fans, we don't know where they're coming from, okay? Stephen A is going to have a great conversation right here, pretty much addressing the whole narrative with Molly and Aguamake. But like I said, now everybody is taking these bits and pieces, and now you're seeing them trying to throw shots towards Caitlin Clark's fans. Like, I don't get it. Caitlin Clark's fans, it could be anybody. It could be your own teammates sending you comments. That's my whole point on this. Joe, let's listen in. Let's hear what they got to say. But this is ridiculous.
If you watched yesterday's game, DeWanna Bonner and Caitlin Clark got into it. But guess what? Caitlin had kind of the last laugh in the sense that she still balled out and DeWanna got the win. So it was a win-win scenario. But if we say that the game is what that interaction is, that is false. The game is that it was an amazing game down to the wire where the Indiana Fever had a chance to win, but Connecticut Sun advances to conference semis like they've done so many years in the WNBA. So like that is the narrative that we need to respect and appreciate. People are grateful for Caitlin. Caitlin has been able to hold her own, and guess what? The game is better for all of that.
Well, let me say something as well. The whole situation with Bonner was chirping, talking crazy. I was watching the game live. Bonner was talking. So she's walking in the direction you just can't see because the angle they keep showing is of DeWanna's back. Bonner was talking to Caitlin the whole time, getting all in her face, being loud, and Caitlin's like, bro, watch out. Like, get away, back up. Bonner continues again later on in the quarter, when Clark told them, the security, about a fan probably heckling or whatever, and the fan got removed from the game. Bonner's gonna go chirp some more. Caitlin Clark's like, relax, man, and just walks away. Like, I'm not trying to argue with you. Relax. What are you so hostile about? All game, Bonner was just on this trip. You guys are taking it out on Caitlin like Caitlin is her fans. She has nothing to do with her fans. That is my main point. Caitlin has nothing to do with her fans. So we're going to sit up here and blame her fans, and then you guys are going to try to take it out on Clark. It has nothing to do with them. As I stated, we don't know where it's coming from. We don't even know if it's true. We don't. So instead of making that the main focus, why don't we talk about the game? That's what you're stating, right? Why don't we talk about how we just advanced to the second round? But instead, you want to bring this narrative up that you have fans being racist to you with no proof of anything. That's my point. And I'm not saying it's okay.
To me,
it's also
and I would respectfully say to you, that's one of the biggest problems that hurts an abundance of industries when we're focused on literally the actual substance, but we want to ignore the allure that exists outside of it. That's what draws an audience. If people decide what they want, I didn't say they were right. No, I said they decide what they want. So in other words, if you had people out there that, hold on, I'll let you talk. Now you got people out there that was gravitating to Larry Bird. We knew what that was about in the 80s. We didn't like it, but you had roads to climb. You had people alluding to that was what the case was with Caitlin Clark. And I'm saying to you, yeah, it ain't necessarily right because there are players who preceded her.
Y'all didn't catch how Stephen A just pointed to Molly. You guys didn't catch that because Molly, as I stated, she was a huge part of this, and she went ahead and was not just Molly, Aguamake as well. You guys were huge parts of this. And steering a narrative earlier on in the season. Yes, you were. And now Stephen A, he's going to check you because he understands. And he's been one of the ones saying, Caitlin Clark is box office. Get along with the girl. Rise with Caitlin Clark. All tides raise all boats is what he said. I believe, quote, Stephen A. Smith. rise with Caitlin Clark instead of trying to hate on her and trying to stare narratives. Now you have these fans. Maybe if you weren't so pesky with her, Dejana Carrington, maybe. But you have a history of doing things like this towards Caitlin Clark. So maybe there are fans. You're a professional athlete. It's gonna come with crazy fans and Reddit people and all these people on X and Twitter who talk. That's what it's about. That's what makes it exciting. What did you expect? You guys want to be under the shadow the whole time? That is what's going to happen. And I'm sure Caitlin Clark gets plenty of threats and all of this stuff from other fans out there in the WNBA. I'm sure she does. You guys can't wait for Caitlin Clark to lose. It's all over the internet. I can see all the comments now. Caitlin Clark didn't say anything. She didn't mention one thing about anyone's fans. Brushed it off the shoulder. Probably doesn't even care what you guys think. But you guys are so worried about what the media thinks, how you look and how you this and put your chains on and all of this stuff. And now you want to complain about fans.
Her that did phenomenal things in the WNBA, that did phenomenal things for women's basketball that should have been appreciated, but nevertheless were not. Why is that? Because the society that we live in, they decide what they want to do. We can point out how wrong it is. We can point out that that's a reality that shouldn't be a reality. But what we can't do is say, this is what matters.
Right.
That doesn't. When the audience was telling you, no, something else matters.
Let me just hold on. Let me say one thing, because I want to push this forward to Alyssa Thomas.
Sure.
Stephen A., what is the major point that you want to make here, your major thesis statement on this? Because every time Caitlin Clark comes up, I feel like there's something that you want to get off your chest in terms of this narrative.
Well,
the truth. The truth. Look. So Molly has a Guamake. Don't try to team up on him. Don't try to do that, Molly. Try to say, oh, he's getting frustrated. Really? Oh, I'm frustrated. Or am I just telling you the truth and stopping this nonsense narrative?
You're frustrated.
Well, first of all, I'm not frustrated. Number two, I did get stuff off my chest on numerous occasions. I'm just reiterating my points because I think one of the things that needed to be mentioned was that even though Caitlin Clark is new to this, and even though she has proven to be a potentially sensational player, the resentment that some, not most, not all, but they say some, those who squeak get the loud, I forgot the phrase, but that stuff that was going on was real. And you see it with some of her fans. You see it with a lot of people who were looking at the WNBA and using that as a means to castigate them. People like myself, you and others certainly came to the WNBA's defense in terms of the credibility that the league has earned, that it richly deserves, the support that it has now received, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. But for years, they were not receiving that support.
The issue is that the resentment, if any, might be the minority, and it's louder than the majority who respect her.
And what's the problem in our society today?
The resentment lead shows. The resentment lead shows, and that's what we're talking about. No, but what I'm saying is, like, look, if we realize that we all appreciate where the W is, then we got to keep that same energy. I see you all the time going, go New York, go New York, go. I expect you to see at the New York Liberty game. Like, I want to see that energy continued. Okay. You know what I'm saying? If we're going to appreciate the game, let's follow.
Okay, so I get where you're coming from. Aguamake. No problem. But you guys continue to destroy the league. Not you guys, just people in general with these just nonsense narratives. I wish we could support the league, but we see this nonsense time and time again, and that's why there hasn't been that much support. If you haven't noticed, a lot of the support is for Caitlin Clark because we like the style of basketball she plays. We like that she's a winner. We like that she's not trying to act like a dude. That's just what it is. A lot of these guys don't want to see dudes playing basketball. Girls who act like dudes and wear chains and dress like dudes play basketball. That is the truth. Me personally, I don't care. I'll watch basketball. Basketball is basketball. But don't be mad when I call it how it is. I got to call it straight. And there's no game out there that's more important or more exciting than the Indiana Fever game. Not even close. Not even close. There is not one team out there that plays more exciting basketball or that's in a more exciting game than when I watch the Indiana Fever. Maybe two teams. Besides that, every other game, it's just not on the same level. I'm not saying they're not talented. I'm just saying there's something about it. The atmosphere, something. It's not there. It's not there. So definitely what Stephen A is saying, what Aguamake is saying, I get both sides, but Stephen A, he's holding his point, and he's been holding this point from the beginning of the year. You guys got to accept Caitlin Clark is just that girl. She's the it factor. And now, see, Aguamake, see, the part of the problem of this conversation is Molly and Aguamake, they're saying two completely different things from what they were saying 2 months ago. So they understand already they have to be on best behavior because Stephen A already pretty much checked them earlier on in the season. And there's nothing you can say now that Clark hasn't really done to prove you guys wrong. There's nothing you can say or prove you guys right. There's nothing you can say. Nothing. So, man, Stephen A, Aguamake, Molly, appreciate you guys. Shout out to First Take. If you guys got some value from this, make sure you guys sub up to the channel. I will be back with more content. And yeah, man, it's your boy C. O'Connor. I'll be back with another one, and I'm out.